Welcome to the Halloween Marathon of 2022.
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
There's something out there, isn't there?
If you had trouble sleeping at night back in the day, you either had a bad mattress, goblins living under your bed, I know I had one, or you had just watched The Boogeyman was nothing new back then, but Freddy Krueger was an awesome spin for a horror character with a great backstory.
I'm the best in the business, bitch.
And the perfect director, Wes Craven, was the perfect man to bring his ghoulishly evil exploits to the screen. Freddy was and still remains one of the most influential and memorable horror villains in Hollywood's history. And that eerie tune. Oh boy, Freddy Krueger did not fuck around. Okay, maybe he did a little bit. So it's no surprise that a game about him would land on the NES back in 1989. It took a while too. Now, according to reports, the original premise of the game had you playing as Freddy, hunting down teenagers and killing them.
Why the fuck wasn't that done?
Yeah, you know what? Problem with that is that the developers and publishers were somewhat skeptical on publishing a game like that after the Atari game The Texas Chainsaw Massacre did horrible on the market due to the fact that most retailers did not want to carry the game and were afraid of consumer backlash.
Leatherface is a pussy. That's why he needs a chainsaw.
So the premise of the game is that you play as a teenager who has to go around collecting the bones of Freddy Krueger so you can go take them to the local high school and burn them inside the furnace in order to kill Freddy Krueger. Naturally, the game takes place very late at night, close to midnight I believe.
That's my time, bitches.
As you traverse the neighborhood looking for the bones. Most houses will be locked due to the fact that, it's very late at night. Houses that are open, you'll be able to access and collect bones, and once you collect all the bones inside the house, you're gonna face off with Freddy, or better yet, a somewhat dreamlike version of him. Once you defeat him, you'll be able to collect the key and exit that specific level. Now, with the keys that you collect, you'll be able to enter the houses that were locked from the beginning. Now, for the most part, this game is a beat 'em up. Now, I do understand that it is a platform game for the most part, but you do have to punch your way through the enemies as you make your way across the levels. Unfortunately, your reach is not very far, and you'll probably get hit a lot of times as you try to punch the enemies. From time to time, you will come across these different looking icons that can grant you the power of different type of warriors. The manual here shows the ninja, the acrobat, and the necromancer, but he looks like a wizard to me, so why not just call him a wizard? I don't know. Each one naturally has specific abilities, and it's up to you to decide which one is going to work best for you.
They all suck.
As you traverse the levels, you're gonna come upon a lot of different enemies. You got ghouls, you got ghosts, you got what looks to be rabbit squirrels or whatever, zombies, bats, you name it. One specific thing about this game that is unique to it is the sleep meter. Now this meter, gradually it goes down over time, and if it depletes completely, you're gonna fall asleep and enter the dream world. Here, the game is just a little bit harder than on the normal world.
Welcome to my world now, bitch.
It kinda reminds me of when it turns nighttime in Castlevania 2. You can keep yourself from falling asleep by finding coffee that is scattered throughout the levels. As long as you keep moving, the meter will keep going down, but not as fast as if you're standing still.
Don't fight it. Just sleep. And Freddy here will take care of the rest.
If you do fall asleep and find yourself in the dream world, the only way to get out is to find the boombox. Now, even though you might look at the game cover and see the infamous LJN logo, this game was created by Rare, the same people who created Banjo and Kazooie and Donkey Kong Country. The platforming and the controls are actually not that bad. Sometimes it feels like a little bit floaty, but overall, I think it could have been much worse. The boss confrontations are also not too difficult overall. What actually took me by surprise about the game was the soundtrack. It's actually pretty good and somewhat upbeat for a platformer of that type. You can go from upbeat to eerie, at least as eerie as it can get on an 8-bit soundtrack. And if you were one of those lucky bastards that had a 4-port controller accessory for the NES, you were in luck, because 4 people can actually play this game at the same time. Not a lot of titles back then took advantage of that. Now for the graphics, I'm going to give this game a 6. It's nothing out of this world. It's not trying to break new ground. It's not doing anything extraordinary. It's just a basic platformer with some good enemies, some good backgrounds, but overall, nothing amazing. Gameplay wise, I'm going to give this one a 7. The controls at times feel a little bit floaty. The punching mechanic could have been better. I think you could have been given a little bit more reach with that punch, or at least maybe give you access to more weapons to confront the enemies. And traversing the levels looking for bones can get tedious after a little bit. Overall, this title hits a 7 on the Halloween meter. Not an amazing title, but it's good enough for you to play this Halloween season. And you know what? It's actually better than it's been shown to be on many YouTube channels.
Those channels suck, just like this one.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Freddy. So join me tomorrow when I will be going over a PC classic from the great early days of FMV titles and a great game for the Halloween season. Stay safe, folks.
Not if I can help it. Now I'm playing with power.